Okay. Hello. Welcome to Good Morning Grand Lovers live show series number 2. Like on Netflix. Series 1, series 2, episode 1. My name is Mirka. I am broadcasting this from Montessori Institute Prague. Which is a teacher training global international organization. And I see people are already joining. It's so wonderful to see you. I am so excited. Good Morning Grand Lovers is here again. So this is a new round of sessions where I am going to be sharing my experience and knowledge about how you can get grant money for Montessori schools and for Montessori programs. And I would love if there are some of you who are already joining, if you would say hello and share with me where you are joining from. I'm just going to do my screens here so I can see you on Facebook and also on Instagram, because I see on Instagram there are quite a lot of people joining. So if you're on Instagram, please drop in comments where you are joining from. I see some wonderful people that, hello Petra and Mary, welcome. It's so nice to have you. And there are already people joining on Facebook as well. We are actually streaming this to Facebook, to the Facebook of Montessori Institute Prague, to my personal Instagram page, to LinkedIn, to my LinkedIn page, and also to YouTube. So it's such a wonderful time that we can do this and that we can really reach as many people as possible with the message about funding for Montessori. So please do. Yay! Oh wow, look, I from the Bronx looking for an application grant. So wonderful to have you, Echo Money. I hope you stay with me. This session is going to take about 15 to 20 minutes. I hope I don't go longer. We are going to do this every day, starting today, every working day, starting today until Thursday next week. And the reason why I decided to come back with Good Morning Grand Lovers, apart from that I loved doing it at the beginning of February, and I kind of feel very energized connecting with you live like this, the reason is that we have a workshop coming up, free workshop, okay, on Thursday next week, April 3rd. And hello, Karina, it's so nice to see you. Joining on Facebook in the Czech Republic. Yay! So Thursday next week, Karina is already signed up. There's a free workshop that I'm hosting that's called Fund Your Montessori Dreams. And I will put the link for the workshop in chat right away while it's on my memory. You can join, it's free of charge, and and in that free workshop, we are going to work on some things that we are not going to do this week, but let me just explain quickly. So I did a survey, an international global survey about 10 days ago, and I received about funding for Montessori schools and for nonprofit projects. And I received so many responses. It was quite overwhelming. So I studied the survey. I studied all the questions, and I realized there are, let me answer that in just a moment. Okay. I see your question. What does Montessori mean? I'll answer that in just a second. And this was a survey about funding for nonprofit organizations that are running Montessori programs, or it could be Waldorf, it could be any educational program that you choose. And people answered and said, we need more money. We don't have enough money. We are underfunded. We can't charge our parents more. We can't charge our clients more. We would like to learn how to do that, how to get more money for our operations and starting up and all of those things. And they said, and we didn't know that grant money is actually available to us. And I took the survey and I listed 32 questions, which are most burning questions, that are questions that people would like to find answers to. and that it might help if I answer those questions this week before the workshop. Because in the workshop next Thursday, we are actually going to work on your grant proposal idea, on looking for a grant funder, and all of those things. So it will be higher level, or the second level, before all those questions are, after all of those questions are answered. So I'm going to be answering your questions about grant money today, tomorrow, and on Friday, and then again on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, every morning at 9 o'clock Central European time. So if you want to, you can put it in your phone right now, every day, 9 o'clock. And you can come for this easy to attend session. I have coffee. I hope you have coffee or tea or water. And I'm just going to be talking and you're going to be listening. You can say hello in chat if you want to, like Plummy just did. Hi, Plummy. It's so nice to see you. You can also say hello in chat on Instagram, like Echo Money did. And we're going to be talking. So I'm going to get to start us on the questions in just a moment. But excuse me, I want to quickly answer the question which came in on Instagram. What does Montessori mean? And I will answer it very quickly because I assume a lot of people who are here are actually my Montessori colleagues, but I don't want a question to go unanswered. So Montessori is an educational approach to it's a philosophy, but also here we are here for Montessori schools, for Montessori programs. It's an educational program based on human needs and human development. And it was founded by Maria Montessori, and there are many Montessori schools around the world. And we are here. My task, my vision, my mission is to help other people bring Montessori to the world as much as possible, make it available and accessible to children. And so it's education, okay? Echo Money for Instagram, unanswer, it's an educational approach. And we want to bring this educational approach to the world. But that's not to say that this series cannot be attended by people who don't come from Montessori background. If you are here, you are a parent of a child and you want to, oh yes, there are so many Montessori schools in America. I can share some websites in chat later after this stream. There are thousands and thousands of schools around the whole world, in Europe, in America, in South America, everywhere. Montessori is everywhere, and we want to bring it everywhere too. So we're going to do this every day. I remember last time when I did this that you enjoyed it so much. You came, we met here every day at the same time. We had our morning coffee or afternoon coffee together because this is a global, these social media channels of Montessori Institute Prague and in the Czech Republic and everywhere we have a global reach. So when I say good morning, it's good morning in Europe where I am, but it might be somebody who's in New York. Yes, what time is it for you in New York? That's 6 hours less, so it's pretty much an evening for you, something like, or even the middle of the night. So it's so nice that you're with us. We are recording this. This will be available on our social media channels for at least a month. And then because we're recording it, we'll of course make it. It's 4 a.m. in New York. Oh my goodness. And you are up and you're listening to this. Amazing. What an honor. So you'll be able to watch this from a recording later as well. Okay. So if you can't come one of these days, then you can join later. But of course, I would love for you to be here, and because it's a fun session that we have together, and we had lots of fun when we did this at the beginning of February. All right, so now let's talk about grants. This was the introduction. Let's talk about grant money, okay? I have 3 questions. Let's see if we can get through all of them today. And the purpose, again, to remind you, is to help you understand what grants are and how you can use grant money for your work, okay? I'm assuming you're all educators out there. So this applies not only to Montessori, but to anybody else. Oh my goodness, you're so funny. Echo Money says, I was supposed to be asleep, but Madame Montessori's spirit brought me here. That's amazing. Let's talk about that a bit later. Let me talk about grants now, so I can. I'm having fun with your comments. That's wonderful. Okay, so the biggest question that I got from you in the survey, like the biggest from almost from everybody, was: are there actually any grants out there for Montessori education in particular? I got one email from somebody who actually said, I have never heard before about grants, and I have never heard before that I can access this money for my Montessori school. And this person was moving from somewhere to Spain, I think, and he said, I want to build a Montessori school in Spain, and my wife and I, we had no idea we can apply for grants. Please teach us how to do this. We love it. And this could be really helpful for us. So yes, absolutely. First of all, if you don't know what grants are, uh, we are talking about money. Okay, we're talking about grant money that somebody gives you to do some good in this world. Okay, now why would anybody want to give grant money to anyone? There are lots of foundations, and they can be institutions, they can be public, federal, private, corporations. There are people out there who have as their life mission to make some good in this world. And many of those people want to do it by improving education. Okay, so there are many foundations and corporations and ministries of education and in entities who have money available, and they give it to non-profit organizations, to businesses, to educational organizations, even to individuals. And they say, okay, if you do this work, I want to do this. If you align with that, if you are in that line of work, if you are in education, if you are in Montessori, and you can do this with me, I can give you this money. And these people are called funders. Okay, so there's grant money there. The grant money is given by funders, and it's given to people like us who want to start schools, or who want to start parent and child programs, or who want to serve the elderly, for all kinds of purposes. So, for example, Karina, who is here with us, and she's in Czech Republic, she's a colleague of mine. She's starting a beautiful Montessori school, and she can definitely apply for some grant money to help her do that. Okay, I've done this, and this is the reason why I'm so passionate about grant money. I've been in Montessori for almost 20 years. I started as a young mother. I had a baby. I had no money. I had no education. I had no materials. I didn't have any money to pay for rent. But we were doing some good work. We were mothers, meeting, supporting each other, helping each other get through difficulties of early motherhood. And as somebody said, if you don't have money, why don't you try to apply for grants? And I said, oh, I've never done that. And they said, well, you've never done many things before, yet you still tried them. Why don't you go ahead and try to apply for a grant? The worst that can happen is you don't get the money. And I said, well, that's actually true. So I tried. I wrote my first grant application. And of course, we didn't get the money the first year, but then we got it the second year. And this is what I'm going to teach you about grants, okay? That all you need to do is to start, to try once, and then to learn from that first trial, and then try again and try again. And then one day you will find out that you win grant money, and that grant money became part of your financial plan, and that you can you can use it on a long term. And that's what I did. So since that first grant 19 years ago, I raised, now hold on to your chair, 2.3 million in euros in grants. Okay, now people don't believe me. I have actually created a table with all the grants we received. I won't have time to show you now, but you can come to the workshop on Thursday next week, where I can share more about that, and you can actually see that I'm not making this up. I know it's a lot of money. It takes time. It took time for me to learn, but what the main message of this session and of all of these sessions that are coming up is that I did it. I knew zero So if you are in a situation that you know zero and you don't know anything, and you're here, that's your first step, and you can learn. And it is a process, and we actually have a formula. I created a formula how to apply for grants. It's a 9-step process that I'm going to share with you in that workshop on Thursday next week. I don't have time to do it these mornings. Here I am to answer questions, okay? So the link to the workshop is here. It's a free workshop. It's in chat also. You can sign up. I'll also put it in on Instagram because I can see that some people are interested. I have a very nice conversation partner on Instagram, Echo Money. I'm having fun with you. Okay. All right. So one question, are there actually grants out there for Montessori education? So yes, absolutely. I am a living proof of that. There are several grant funders, thank you, Plummy, who actually give money specifically only to Montessorians, okay? And I want to say this very clearly and out loud that people hear this. There are grant funders who give money specifically to Montessori programs. One of them is Montessori Global Growth Fund, okay? Montessori Global Growth Fund. There's another one called Growing Seeds, and there's another one called Wildflower Montessori. I actually have a list of grant funders that I created for you for 2025 grant calls that are coming up, announcements of grant money being given. And again, I'll share that with you on Thursday next week in the workshop. So to answer the question, are there actually any grants out there for Montessori education? The answer to this question is yes. I'm a living proof. And on the workshop, I'll show you all the grants I got in 19 years, just a little list, don't worry. We're not going to go through all of those in detail, but I'll show you the amounts. I'll tell you what were the activities, what was the purpose and all of that. There are many grant funders who give money specifically to Montessori organizations, and Plummy just put a link for the Montessori Global Growth Fund in chat. And I'm a founder of a Montessori school, a founder and an executive director of Montessori Teacher Training International Institute. We also started an adolescent program at our school, and we purchased a farm property. And all of these things that I've done for the past 20 years were funded in a major way in grants. Okay, so we always, of course, charge fees, but we also decided all the way at the beginning that our funding or our financial strategy is going to include grant money, because we don't have any investors, so we have to find the grant money somewhere else. And I am on a mission to teach the whole Montessori world that every Montessori organization should do this, okay? Or every educational organization, every school, every educational program. In fact, every program which serves other people needs to know about grants and needs to know how to apply for grants, okay? Echo Money, thank you. You truly appreciate this. You were just thinking and talking about this with a colleague of mine. It's divine intervention. Well, I definitely believe in those. So if you have that feeling, and just stay with us, come again tomorrow morning, and you'll see maybe you'll want to join the workshop on Thursday where I can share more and we can get to know each other a bit more. So that's the question. Are there actually any grants out there for Montessori education? One more thing I want to say about that is that we actually, as you can see, started helping other Montessori organizations apply for grant money. And we have students who learned in our course how to apply for grant money, and they raised money for themselves. So there's a program in Italy, actually 2 programs in Italy, a program in Lithuania, a program in Romania, a program in Slovakia. These are people who worked with us, who learned our formula, and they applied and they raised money. So we're actually helping people learn how to do this. And I'm so proud of that, because when I didn't realize this for such a long time, that I can actually teach people how to do this, since I've mastered this so well for our organization, and that I can help Montessori grow and education grow around the whole world when I start teaching people about grants. So first question answered, okay? There, another question which you ask me, I have my table right here, is aren't grants only for big and well-established organizations? Okay, so this means that the person who asked was a bit worried that if they are a small program or a small school, that maybe they can't reach this money or that they can't apply for it. So there are different types of grants and different types of grant funders. Some grant funders only give a lot of money. Okay, like for example, we once applied for a grant, and in the application conditions, they said the project can be only you can only apply if you want more than 500,000 euros, for example. Okay, so that's a big grant, and you have to have a lot of history, a lot of experience. Maybe you have to have show that you've received grants before and all of that. So that would be considered a big grant. But there are also grant funders who give small grants, smaller amounts to smaller organizations. An example of a grant funder which gives a smaller amount or smaller grant would be something local. So, for example, I live in a small town outside of Prague, and there's a family center, like a parent and child program. They have little activities in the morning for children and mothers. They have parent education in the evening. They have a community garden, and they organize Halloween together. And, it's community life and supporting parents and connecting people in the town. Now, they get money from our local municipality, okay, which helps them to, for example, buy coffee for these events and things like these. And they have their space, and that space is paid by the municipality. So they were able to get their space for the family center, and they don't have to pay the rent because the municipality gave them the rent in grant. Okay, so that would be an example of a small program like this. Okay, so I see comment. I work with group homes, foster children, families of all kinds, even juvenile delinquents. This is perfect for me. And you know what? I am so excited that you're here, even though you're not Montessorian, because I was thinking the other day that not necessarily this program is only for Montessorians. I'm talking about grants for anybody who wants to help others. So it doesn't have to be Montessori. And it'll be my honor to have you here with us this week, and also then for the workshop on Thursday. It's free of charge, so you can just come and learn from me and then see where it takes you after that. So that's really, really cool. And yes, absolutely. We have in my town where I live, there's a center that supports former drug addicts. It's called Magdalena Center. Oh, you are a Montessorian. Okay, sorry, I misunderstood. A center which supports former drug addicted people, and I'm in close collaboration with them, and they also fund their work through grants. So some of these are the examples of smaller grants that people are asking. Grants are not only for big and well-established organizations, they're also for small and starting organizations. There are also grants for startups. So if you are only thinking about starting something, you can also access money for the starting of your project. But in any case, I want to just encourage anybody who is here, even if you're just a dreamer, maybe you don't even have your program just yet, but you are dreaming about starting an educational program. I highly want to encourage you to learn what are grants, how you can get it, who gives grants. You don't have to, jump right into a paid course and start learning how to apply for a grant. You can just stay here with me this week. You can come on Thursday for the free workshop and just get a sense of what grants make possible. And then you can decide later. But what's really important is that right now you have heard there is grant money available. And there's a little idea in your head thinking, maybe I can do it. Maybe, because people often say, we can't, I want to start a school, but I don't have money. And I say, well, why don't you learn from me? I was in the same situation. I didn't have any money, and I learned how to apply for grants, and then things start coming together. When you change that mindset and you think, okay, instead of I don't have something, you start thinking, how can I do this? all of a sudden, all of a sudden, opportunities and doors are going to open for you. And it might be, Echo Money says, I'm in heaven right now. I'm so happy you're here. It's a sign for me that this was a good thing to do. And I enjoy it so much. There are always ways to do things. If you want to serve, if you want to help others, if you have a mission or a calling, um, stop thinking, I can't do this, I don't have any money, I don't have the right kind of education, and just start looking for opportunities. How can I do this? Change your mindset to how can I do this? And definitely looking for funding is one of the first steps, of course, right? You have to think it's unavoidable if we want to serve other people. We have to learn how to get money to do that. And grants are here for us who want to serve. And as I say, I'm a living proof of that. All right, one last question, and then we'll finish for today. But don't worry, I'm going to be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the morning. I'm enjoying this so much. I hope you are as well. People ask me often, it's one of the bigger questions, are grant money only available in Europe? So I want to say no, and especially to our friend in New York and in Bronx. Oh my, I'm sure there's lots of need in Bronx for help to other people, like you said, juvenile delinquents and children and families of all kinds. I mean, those are things that are happening all over the world, and there are so many people who need our help. Grant money is available everywhere. There are global foundations. There are local funds. I think, in a way, and this is what my experience showed, that starting with in your location, in your geographical location, starting to look for what's available, where you are, looking at your municipality, looking at for private donors, in where you are, or looking at donors who want to support the kind of work you are doing is the first step. So if you haven't applied for grants before, go looking for small funders and thinking about a small project that is you can write easily, and then you can do it, and you can do it successfully. And then once you have that first project down, you nailed it, you got the money, you did it. Maybe it was a 1-year project or it was a 6 months project. It could even be a one-time event. Sometimes there are grant funders who want to fund a Children's Day event, just like one time a year, an event for children on Children's Day or something like this. Or since, I'm thinking what could be foster children, families of kinds, some kind of a get together or a community support group, something like this, just a small project. So everywhere around the whole world, there are people who want to give money to people who want to do good work. Okay, you just have to learn how to find them. And I know in a way this sounds unbelievable to people who never heard about a grant before, or to people who didn't know what grants are, and they're wondering, why would anybody give me money? Well, there are actually, believe it or not, there are many people out there who have a good heart, who established a foundation. Maybe they inherited a building, and they're renting the building, and they want to use the money from the rent of the building to help somebody else. There are so many people out there who have money available that are giving it that are giving it to other people, to nonprofit organizations, but also to businesses. And they say, please help me do this, because they have money, but they don't have the expertise. They have a vision. They want to help, and they can't do the everyday grassroots work, which we do. They can't start a school, or they can't start a community program, but they have money available, and they are looking for you who want to do that. They're looking for us in the grassroots who want to do that work. So I'm here to help you make that connection, and I'm also here to help you see that you can do this. You can just take the first step. I'm not promising you a bright future with millions of dollars. Although I think you can have it, because we raised so many millions. I've shared that 2.3 millions in grants. But I'm saying just take the first step and the first step today is to get excited and think, oh, maybe there's hope for me. Okay. I see there's my friend Ludmila joining on Instagram. She's from Ukraine. She's a Montessori future teacher trainer, and she is so definitely interested in grant money because she maybe one day go back to Ukraine and start rebuild educational system in Ukraine, or she may start a school in Prague, which is what I'm hoping for, and she can definitely fund this from grants. So every one of you who are here today, if you have a small dream, how you want to help this world to make a better place, how you want to make a difference, and you're thinking, I can't do it, I want you to change your mindset. I want you to come tomorrow at 9 a.m. again and listen to me answering all these questions that you might have. Okay, that's all you need to do. You don't need to commit to anything. Just come and listen to me. And I hope I can share a little bit of that energy and a little bit of that enthusiasm through a screen, because you can see I feel this buzz and this shine and light, and I know I can make a difference by getting you excited and by giving you hope that you can make a difference in this world. Okay. And with that, I think I will end today. I answered 3 questions. Are there actually any grants out there for Montessori education? Aren't grants only for big and well-established organizations? And are grants only available in the EU? Tomorrow, we're going to look at 3 more questions from all of those that you've asked me in the survey. I'll be here at the same time, 9 a.m. for about a half an hour. And this recording is going to stay on our Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. And you can come back to it at any point of time and listen again, or you can share it with your friends if you want to. If you know anybody who needs grant funding, you can just hit share and share the recording, because this is free knowledge, free experience, free hope for all of us to to do work in this world. And I think you can rely to the idea that this world does need a difference. It needs improvement, and I'm here to do that, and I hope you can join me in wanting to do that as well. I'm so sorry, I don't want to go, but okay, half an hour every day. I'll be here tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for your questions and for your comments. Feel free to ask anything in chat, whether on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn. I'll be here tomorrow, and if you leave your question, I can also answer your question. Oh, thank you so much. No, not that, but I love my work. And I just want people who have dreams to make a difference, to know that they can. And that's my mission. So thank you for today. See you tomorrow at the same time and at the same place. I'm turning the stream off, and I'll be here again tomorrow. We'll be answering more questions about grant money and how you can use grant money for your dream and for your plan to make this world a better place. See you tomorrow. Bye.